Hello, how y'all doing? Thank you for joining another edition of the 2 Cents, 2 Pennies podcast. Again, thank you for joining another edition of the 2 Cents, 2 Penny podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Nino. You know, like I say, I keep a lot of topics that's interesting. So before I delve off into the topic that I'm going to get into, I'm going to send out prayers because today, again, senseless from my people in the black community. I want to send out my prayers to the rapper Lil Ronnie, who was slain this morning around 10 p.m. in Fort Worth, Texas, in Forest Hill. I mean, and I'm not saying this to give props, but within the last 3-week radius, Forest Hill has really been on fire, but still I'm mourning the death and what happened at RK Automotive and my nephew Joe back February the 21st. But send prayers to Lil Ronnie and his family. We got to stop this, people, because not only his life was taken, but his beautiful little daughter. What did she do? She just an innocent little baby that just full of life, probably had so much, or I know had so much potential. Now, her dreams, aspects, the young lady, the woman she was going to end up being is now gone. We got to stop this senseless killing, black folks. We got to stop this. Why can't we come to discussing things? Let's talk it out. I mean, I don't personally know Lil Ronnie, and I don't know what caused Lil Ronnie to get killed, because how I seen it, it was a hit. But that little baby girl didn't deserve nothing. She didn't deserve none of this. She just an innocent little sweetheart of a kid. Come on, man. What happened to when real G's be real G's, but they don't kill the kids? You can go back to the hardest gangsters, the Italians, the Colombians, the Cubans, all of them. Straight up mercenaries, cold-hearted killers. But when they mark an X and ready to hit the bullseye, the kids aren't included. Only the grown-ups. Again, I want to send out my prayers to Lil Ronnie and his family, especially his daughter. They was both slain today around 10 a.m. this morning. My people, black folks, we got to stop this, man. It's getting ridiculous. Now, let me get on into what I come to talk about tonight. I'm going to discuss, are kids better off raised by their father or their mother? Let me repeat that. Are kids better off raised by their mother or their father? There is no definite answer to whether children are better off raised by a single mother or a single father. That's facts. But just me on the outside looking in, I think it'll be just a little bit more rougher, and it's harder on single mothers. Because remember that saying that a man got to raise a boy? A man has to raise a woman or a girl, a female. A man, the father, is the backbone of the whole nucleus of things when it comes to a family. A man stands strong. It is so many girl dads out here. And I'm not knocking the women because they do the best they can, but fathers just bring that certain element that a woman tries to, but it's hard on her. When you look at social economics, it is already said that mostly single father dads that raise kids, the kids are better off growing up for development than mothers, because a dad is solid. Most time, even though women get good jobs, a man can get basically a better job. A man can work 2 jobs because the dynamic of a man is he's built strong. He's the solid rock. A woman, and it's a lot of women out here that are single parents that are playing the mother and the father. But women basically are nurturers. They're basically at home. You go back to old days and the perception even on TV. I mean, how you see it black, how you see it white, whatever. I'm going to use an example. Leave It to Beaver, one of the greatest all-time Caucasian shows that back in the day that was in the TV industry. Ward went to work. Wally and the Bees went to school, but June stayed at home, nurtured the home, took care of the house, cooked a hot meal. When it was all said and done, everything really leaned on Ward. Not knocking June Cleaver Worth, but Ward Cleaver was not only the head of the household, but again, as I said earlier, he was the backbone of the household. Okay? Go back to Good Times. A somewhat poverty urban family in the ghetto of Chicago. James went out and did the work, the heavy lifting. JJ, Thelma, and Michael was the kids at home trying to go to school. Again, Florida stayed at home, was the nurturer. Got the kids ready to go to school, tended to all the house duties, was the nurturer. Now, remember, Florida didn't get a job till James passed away. But long as James was living, Florida was the nurturer at home. That's what I'm trying to say. A man can, I see how they say a man can basically do things on a single vibe sometimes or mostly better than a female, because a man can bring more financially by working, but a man also can bring more when it comes to respect and morally. And I'm not saying a woman cannot do that, but we gonna be honest, and that goes to the single mothers out here. A lot of times, if you're a single mother and say you have boys, girls too, but they don't take you serious, just like if you was a single father out there and you had boys or girls. A lot of times, point blank, I done seen when a single mother is dealing with her kids, they half-heartedly try to run over her. They see their mother more as a sister or brother, or they don't take them as serious. Whether it's that father, they see him as that one that's going to demand respect, going to get respect, and if the respect isn't given, then punitive issues will come. That's what I'm saying. That's what I be saying about. That's why I think a man sometimes raises kids better than a woman. But again, it's women out here that are doing a great job raising kids by themselves. So, it's a crapshoot really on all of it. You can say that because I'm not going to sit up here and say every single dad that raising his kids without a wife or without a female companion or just doing it, or is the head of the household himself is just throwing out straight A report cards, because they're not. You got single mothers that's head of the household that's throwing out straight A report cards, that's doing a good job. You have soccer moms, just like you have soccer dads. You have basketball game dads, just like you have basketball game moms. Look at the job LeBron James' mama, Gloria, did. LeBron James' dad wasn't in the mix. Gloria did a great thing. Look what LeBron James turned out to be. And I know, basically, of course, the most beautiful setup will be for kids that start out as babies and then adolescents and then teens going into being adulthood, is you have your mom and your dad in the household. But what I'm saying today is this single dads versus single moms. Some studies indicate that children raised by single fathers often exuberate or show better self-esteem. There you go again. Because a father is going to come with the strength. A father is going to be like that tight rope that as long as you keep turning the tighter the stronger it will get. I'm not saying, again, a mother doesn't demand respect, but a lot of time, if a mom has 2 or 3 jobs, she'll just tired and try to get home and do her duties and get in the bed. A father, I believe, no matter how exhausted he is, no matter what's the situation is going, girl or boy, gonna always demand routinely respect, morally, scruples, integrity at all times. When you come as an outsider dating somebody's female or dating somebody's male, who the first of the parents you're going to see or you're going to encounter? It's going to be the father. Yeah, the mother is there. I'm talking about now if they're both together, as a couple or married. But usually, when you have to have that sit down, when you come in and you're trying to date either their young lady or either their young man, you're going to have to sit down and have a talk with the father. Mothers do it too. But that father is that foundation that is this second to none. A consistent presence of a father figure is generally considered important for a healthy child development. There you go. There you go, right there. Because even though, go back to it again, the mother just the nurture. The father can teach a young man things, but a father can teach his young lady something. His young daughter something too. A father can teach, and I'm talking about this is just on the single aspect now. A father can teach his young son how to be a man, how to respect, how to get out and grind, how to work, how to protect yourself, how to always try to stay one step ahead of the curve or one step ahead of somebody that's trying to take advantage of him. A father also can teach his daughter how to make men respect you, to know your worth as a young lady. Don't just fall for any guy. A father also can teach his young daughter how I know what these young knuckleheads, meaning these boys, gonna do to try to get into your buried treasure. And you know what her buried treasure is. Because they was young knuckleheads once they self. So they can give better advice most time than the women. And I'm not knocking the women because a single mom is great too. Like I say, single moms have shown and proved that they're certified enough to raise a kid or kids by themselves, and they end up being something. But I see how this research is set